Let's talk slots. Sponsored plug. Slots butter. They say if 1 plus 1 is 2, 3 plus 1 is 4, what is 5? No, not 6, dumbass. It's just a 5. Slots butter. Alright. I'd like to do a little video on swapping out 1,000-year-old slot car rear axle out of a wide pan Tyco. I've already got my Pro-Trax Delrin ring pinion and gear saver, or a crown. They call them rings in real cars. I got my spacers installed already. I got my Pro-Trax hubs 260 with my 452 super tires radius. Alright, so let's pull this puppy apart. Press on the ground and crown and wheel. Crown and wheel. Alright. Let's put our spare tires on over here. I don't know why they're off. Alright, first thing we want to do is pop these wheels. So we can see our hub puller make contact with the axle. Yeah. I don't think I'll be salvaging any Tyco parts. I'm going to have to redo my video on salvageable Tyco parts. I dropped it. I deleted it. When you do this, look at the axle. If it moves, you're on. Alright, it moved. So I'll pull that off. Sometimes, you know, you can hold this like that. Hold the hub, twist it. Sometimes the hub won't come off on like Tyco, when you pull a Tyco hub, rear hub. This is made for rear hubs only, boys and girls. Okay. You can get this on eBay. So you got to kind of look down through here because the hubs are deep. And make sure you get that pin lined up. Also, you can check your angle this way and this way to make sure it's squared. And then look at the axle right here. That moves, you're in. Alright, it's moving, so I'm in. Okay, what I'm going to be doing at Slots Inc. is I'm replacing all my axles. To some of you, take your spacers off. That may be unfeasible because you have such a massive slot car collection. Me, I'm only going to build like 10 440 wide pan chassis, and at this point you use this tool. And what your hub and gear press. And what you want to do is you don't want to press the axle this way, because you may have to use this to get the remaining axle out of this part from here up, and you don't want to press on your teeth. So you want to push the axle the other way. So if you have to use this puller, you'll be on this side of your crown gear, so you won't damage it. Okay? So push that way. And just make sure this is lined up real good in the center. You know, jiggle it, whatever you're in. Alright? And you hold this because it's going to want to spin, as you see. So you got to hold that. Push that out. But yeah, I'm replacing all my axles. They're all bent and 1,000-year-old Tyco axles, so I ain't dealing with that. You know, I'm not. You know, I made a video on determining bent axles. I'll be damned if I'm making a video on how to repair them. My video on repairing bent axles is right here, replacing them. So get you some of that. Repairing bent axles. So you see, this way you're not damaging the teeth on your crown gear. Alright, it's very important, boys and girls. Okay, this is, I don't know, I'll throw it in a parts bag for now. I really want to just trash it. I think I will. I think I'm trashing all my, here, you can hear it hit the trash can. Oh, it bounced out. Alright, this is the tricky part. This is Viper scale racing axle. It's called a billet 15 spline offset rear axle, item number 12500. Alright, so the offset part is obviously this way because it's not centered, and that goes towards where your crown and pinion gear saver and pinion gear would line up on a wide pan. Alright, so what I try to do, this is kind of difficult really, is I'll take this piece out and try to line this up by putting it in this hole. Putting it in this hole. Yeah, this press you can find on internet. It was originally, okay, make sure you get this right. So the offset is going to be to the driver's side, right? So that means this has got to go in this way, and this has got to go in. Now, let me show you real quick. This has got to go in like this, okay, on the offset side, which is this side here. Because see how this is longer, more metal, and then the splines, and then over here there's less metal. So you want your splines over here. See, this one's already kind of been set up with the new axle. I can tell because it almost looks like it's got a pitted surface. It's not polished like a Tyco axle. These are nice. I tested it. Where's that old axle? Oh, I threw it in the trash. Crap. Let me show you. I don't want to get up. I got an axle in this bag over here somewhere. I'll be throwing all these parts out, man. I ain't dealing with none of it. All mine are going all new hubs, but I'm only building like 10 cars for my, I'll have thousands of bodies in like 10 cars. All China with the wide front ends like I talk about. So here's the difference between Viper scale racing and a stock Tyco. The Viper Scale Racing is a little longer because these Delrin hubs, these Pro-Trax Delrin hubs or something, I think. I'm not sure. Maybe these, I don't think it's the hubs. These may be made for Tyco hubs. But they work fine on what I'm doing. I'm not sure. Let me look at the darn package. That'd help. It doesn't say Tyco or not. But you can see the Tyco one is polished more, and this one is more like a satin. Now I did my test roll on my my new Viper one, and it rode fine, and I didn't encounter any questionable wobble, so I'm happy with that. So this has got to go. Usually I just do this piece first, this gear saver. Put it in this hole after you take out this brass piece. Like I said, these can be found, these tools, on eBay. They were originally anodized blue. I painted them black. Make sure you put the, I don't know if this video, just put that in position. I know you can't see it, but I try to give you a little heads up of what I'm doing. I'll show it after I get it in position. Right. So now I got my gear saver in, and then the crown's going to have to go like this, and it's all goes up to the short part. So you just start turning it. Maybe go in here and hold this because it's going to want to spin. You know, just hold that a little bit. Alright, we got her on. We'll go ahead, and the nice thing about this hole is it holds this crown perfectly. It's something I had to learn to do. It didn't come with directions to figure out. I had to kind of figure out how to use the tool. And this is one of the tricks that I found. I guess it's not in it didn't come with an instructional manual. Alright, people. So you got to hold this or it'll spin. Well, and this gear saver prevents your gears from going too far away from the pinion. So if it went too far away, then the teeth would top out and they would skip and wear out your gears. This is a stock Tyco, and it's got a gear saver. But this gear saver here is sweet. It's cool. It's black. So just bring it up to somewhere where the teeth are, and then you got to take it off real quickly. Try to speed up this video. And you got to size it up with what's going on here. Alright, now that looks pretty straight. You know, I got equal distance on the outside of the cage almost. It looks like I went too far. It looks like there's more distance on this side. And it also looks like my gear saver is touching the top of the pinion point. So I need to go back this way, I think, a little bit. And get that. And let me pop it in. It's always better when you pop it all the way in. Now see, now my gear saver's not touching. It looks pretty darn good, man. Myself. Got a little play there. You know. This motor's already been shimmied. I'm going to have to take it apart and see how much I shimmied it. But this is the play in my motor. Boy, that's shimmied good. That's like, phew, 10 thousandths of an inch. Let's see if she runs. on a 12-volt battery, 9-volt. Running good. It's not binding. Alright, so I'm going to have to, I don't know, man, that's close as hell. Man, I'm going to call that close. I'm going to call that done. I can't believe it. I actually pulled that off. Alright, so now we get our hubs on. We got to put this piece back in. Alright, and our space, it's something I do to take out play in the rear end. These are 15 thousandths of an inch spacers from wonderful people at Wizzards. Performance something. I better be nice. They may not sell me parts anymore. You know how people are assholes. So anywho, I figured out a way, man, I can talk about manufacturers and still buy their parts. I'll just have someone else buy them for me. They won't recognize my name. I'll buy their parts and do reviews and say, man, your parts suck. And then I'll have someone else buy them for me. Alrighty. You so smart. Yeah. Alright, so we got this lined up. Everything looking good. So just bring it up. You know, you can always check your hub. You know, see the axle is close to the top of this ridge. Call it, you know, close enough for now, because we gotta adjust our shimmies and the tightness on the chassis. Alright, so let's get her kind of, when you start first making contact, make sure all that stuff's lined up. You know, make sure this is sitting on here properly, and this is going in there on the hub properly. Everything's, you know, feeling good. Then tighten. You know the depth that you got to go into the hub. So just kind of do a rough guesstimation. I'm going to open this wide. See, that's almost to the end. So boom, I'm in. Alright. So take my spacers, because these go on the outside of the cage. Alright. The Tyco goes on the driver's side. So it goes over here. My spacers, see how there's a lot of space still? So that's good. And we're going to install it. Push on the crown and the hub. When you push on your hubs, try to push towards this ridge here, this hub flange, tire flange. You know, not out here on your hubs. You're going to bend the axles. You know, try to get as close to the cage as possible. This is a brand new axle, man. So we'll do our test. Seems to be running fine. What I like to do is I don't know how long I'm going to do this shimmy stuff. I'll tell you what, I really dig it though. Takes a lot of that play out of that axle, man. So I hang it and then I bring it up to the cage. Watch, this side here will move. Now bring that shimmy up to the cage. And then I'll go like this and see if I got play. Move it up a little bit. See, there's still a gap there. Move it a little bit. A little more. See, I can. A little more. A little more. What I try to do is get it to where it's making contact in a very slight way. Alright, so this is making contact. Now if I look at a light, if I lift this up to a light and look at the light coming through the axle, there's still a little bit there, so I could take that little bit out. Alright, it's out when it's sitting like this. There's no light showing between the cage and the brass bushing or copper bushing. But the way I set it up is if I push this way, I should see air. Okay, that's how I'm setting up my shimmies. You following me? Okay, you tighten it down just to where the light disappears when you look at through a light bulb through the back side. But you also need to be able to push it this way and see light. That way you know you're not too tight. Alright, now this one hasn't moved up yet. Now what's going to happen here is when I tighten up this one will move, and I'll have to use this tool to pull it back out and adjust it again. That's the nature of the beast. Alright, so now I'm going to bring this one up. Okay, watch the gap disappear right in here. Alright, okay, I can still see air or light. So a little more, I can still see it. Alright, that's good. But I have to pull this one out now, because this one went too far in, I think. Let me check. Yeah, it did. So this one's got to come out just a little bit to relieve, because when you're pressing them, sometimes one or the other will move, you know. So that's, so when you look down in here, you try to find that pin. When you think you got it, look at your axle. Does it look square, your hub? Does it look square with the pin? Look at it this way. Does your car and everything look square like an L? Then you're probably on the top of the axle. See, I'm just turning a little bit. Now I can peek in here. Alright, right in here between the cage, this frame cage, gearbox, whatever I call it a cage, gear cage. And you can look in here and see if you can see something. You know, if you pull it this way and you can see air or light, then you're loose enough. See, I couldn't see it. So a little bit more. I'm looking at a light bulb off camera. Okay, it's still too tight. So a little more. Oh, man. Come on, baby. A little more. Alright. I think I'm set. I was doing this the other day, and I swear, oh, I went too far. Doggone it. It took me an hour to adjust this just the way I wanted it. It's not doing it. Come on. What am I doing wrong? Huh. Something's going on. But anyway, you kind of get the idea. that side. Okay, I gotta pull this side back out. But yeah, it took me like an hour to get these just the way I wanted them. You know, I mean, it's a fine line between, you don't want it to ride too much pressure, apply too much pressure to your chassis cage. So, like I said, I'm pulling like this to see if I can see light through here at a light bulb off camera. So let me see what I got. Yeah, this is good. This is looking good. Let's see how it runs. That's the nice thing about having a white surface. I can look through here and see parts or whatever. See, you can't see it. Okay, I'll show you. Maybe you can. If you look between the copper bushing and the cage on either side, you might be able to see the white underneath this table. So where you at? So you see I got a little play. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. But let's see how she runs on a 9-volt. Good. Take some alien blood. Put a little dab in my gear spacer. Come on. Yeah. Won't come out. Come on. What I do? What the? Oh, I know what I did. I pressed too hard in here, and a piece of this plastic got in my tube. So what I do when that happens is I'll heat it, get that stuff to come out, that rubber. See, now it'll work. I'm going to put a little drop in here now. That's way too much. That's way too much. Alright? Don't do that, boys and girls. It's way too much. But yeah, what happened is with my slot sputter, I was pushing down on this so hard because I wanted to get it, make sure it's seated and didn't leak. I poked a hole through it. So then I had to super glue this. And now, you know, it's okay. But occasionally what I'll do is accidentally push it too hard and a piece of that super glue will fill up this tip. So when you get you some slot sputter, don't push too hard on a tip. Just make it, you know, good enough. Slot sputter. So anywho, we're looking good. See, that stuff don't drool or anything. Look at that, man. That oil just stays right there, man. It'll probably be there after I flip this on it. See that slot sputter, man? That's some stuff there, buddy. And that shimmy job, man, that's killer. So, yeah, don't put that much butter on there. Did you say butter? Slot sputter. All rubber back on. And I have to run my towel in there, get that off my axle. But I don't mind getting a little bit extra, because I've just, you know, it's a new axle, new shimmies on a new cage, and, you know, get that stuff ready. But it's running good. No binding. Alright. So yeah, it's beautiful, man, axle, you know, assembly. Don't have all the teeth showing on this side, the splines, you know, look how clean it looks. I thought I have it. That's reflection. I thought it was slots, but so yeah, looking good, man. Looking good. So yeah, get you some Viper scale, billet 15 spline, offset rear axles. You can check their website for pricing. Oh yeah, Jim's Custom Rod Shop. That's the guy that has resin body parts. Okay, I forgot to mention that in one of my videos. I mentioned another guy website, so I'll put it up in description or something. But yeah, you can get resin body engines and stuff, and bodies, and I'm particularly interested in just basically engines, you know, to stick a big engine on this Carrera, you know, or like this here, man, this chrome's already coming off, and I ain't even rubbed on it, you know. Look at it. So this chrome, man, just comes off easy, you know. But yeah, Jegs Hobbies has this blower with the hood scoop, air in, well, they call this an air intake. So they have like 6 or 8 for like 12, 13 bucks, 15 bucks. I'm kind of broke now, but I'm going to get some of those, man. Those are killer, you know. Take a heat gun, melt the piece, drill a hole in your bodies, you know, like this Corvette. I wouldn't do it to it. This kind of a collectible. I'll do it to this Corvette. This is the Bob Beers Corvette IROC series. But I would do it to this Corvette. Put a hole in it, put a blower on it. Hell yeah. That looks cool as hell, man. Big ass tires. Killer machine, big ass tires and everything. Alright. Axle, Wizzard, axle update. So, do them to all your runners. And you can keep some stock Tyco axles on some of your cars. I'm just doing them all to, I'm making 10, you know. And I'm just going to keep those running and working and changing the bodies. Alright. Slots out.